Currently, we see a lot of people using the UMP. And that for good reasons, because with the latest changes, this weapon became insanely good. But why exactly and how can you take advantage of that? That's today's topic in Why You Should Play the UMP. And as always, we start with the modability of the gun. And well, as so often in this regards, the weapon is meh. That's because the base model of the UMP doesn't allow for a lot of modifications. A fully modded UMP pretty much looks the same. The stats also don't change significantly. The only thing you have to pay attention to is don't use a sight that is too small or has a low profile, because the front sight knob thing is gonna block your vision. Why that can't be removed, I have no idea. Would be a perfect question for a podcast. But anyways, back to the mobility. Again, you can't do much. There's just one magazine and one stock, so you can't change that really. And then a lot of functional mods, grips, flashlights, a silencer, and of course on top any type of sight. And that's it. Now that's of course a bit humbling, especially for our LEGO fanatics, but low modability can be good in terms of affordability. Which brings us to the next topic. How cheap is the gun? First off, you can buy the UMP at Peacekeeper level 2 for $274. Now that's approximately 30,000 rubles. And that's pretty cheap considering you buy it straight from a trader. But as always, there are ways to get it cheaper. For example, you can barter the UMP at Peacekeeper 1 already for 7 knives. There is also a barter trade at Mechanic, but depending on where you are in the wipe, it's not worth it. But right at the beginning, when you can't sell those items at the flea market, then why not? But the knife trade is really what you want to focus on, because you play as a scav, knife. Yeah, it's not the right one, but you know what I'm saying. And you can still ask people for knives, and they give you knives. So at the end, you have a knife. You kill a scav, knife. You knife a knifing knifer with a knife, knife. You see where I'm going with this, right? If you start looking for those knives, you will find them. Now, with the patch 12.12, we got the UMP silencer at Peacekeeper level 2 for $400. That's approximately 48,000 ruble, which is okay for a silencer. Especially that one, because it makes the UMP silent like no other gun. So in terms of affordability, thumbs up. But what about the rounds? Now that's the next big advantage, because the 45 ACP rounds have some pretty impressive stats. Because on one hand, the accessibility is impressive. The stats of the FMJ aren't that great, but it's enough for the beginning. And it deals a lot of flash damage, so you can always go for the leg meta. Against level 4 armor, it needs a couple of shots, but now that level 4 armor is the way to go, it's able to handle that pretty well. But again, the accessibility is what's impressive. You get it at Peacekeeper 1 for 80 cents. That's about 100 rubles. Later on, we then get access to the AP. This round absolutely shreds level 4 armor and even level 5 armor. But it's a bit more expensive with $4.7, so approximately 560 rubles. So for the stats it provides, I would say that's still pretty cheap. So the caliber is pretty decent, especially with the high accessibility of the FMJ right at level 1. And you can, without a doubt, just play the FMJ all the time. Its high flash damage allows you to go for leg shots whenever you encounter, for example, one of those heavy Altin boys. But it also deals a lot of armor damage, especially to level 4 armor. And that's quite impressive for, well, a round that costs 80 cents in a weapon that costs around 30,000 rubles only and is available right at the beginning. So, with all of those stats, how well does the weapon perform on close range? Now, the fire rate is comparably low to other SMGs, but again, therefore the caliber deals more damage. Furthermore, even with a silencer, the UMP feels very reactive. The ergonomics are high enough, so you can pull off those quick shot flicks or whatever you want with an SMG. And because the rounds are pretty big, they carry a lot of power. So even if the guy is wearing a helmet, he's gonna experience some serious head trauma. Furthermore, with patch 12.12, where weight is a big concern, a lot of people switch to only 4x armor. And that's ideal for you using a UMP with high flash damage, because if you aim at the stomach, you can drop those boys with 5 to 6 bullets. You just have to keep in mind that, again, the UMP has a lower rate of fire, so make those shots count. But again, the UMP is here to help, because even though the UMP says 50-40 recoil, it doesn't feel like 40-50 recoil, it feels like much less. So the UMP is relatively easy to control. So in terms of close combat, for that price, amazing. Hands approved. But what about long range? Now, everything that is good about a UMP in close range makes it pretty bad on high range. Because the bullets travel slow, have a lot of drop, and the accuracy isn't that great. I mean, let's compare that to an AK. Listen closely how long it takes for the bullet to hit. You hear that difference between boom boom and boom boom. I'm trying to kind of visualize the bullet speed, okay? Now the caliber has a velocity of around 300 meters per second. Now that's pretty slow compared to other rounds. Now that, in addition to the high drop, makes it pretty hard to hit far away moving targets. But therefore, if you use a silencer, he's not gonna know where he's shooting from, so you have some time to figure it out. So I would recommend to use this gun on maps that have close to medium range. Don't use it on woods, for example. On shoreline, for example, maybe when you main the resort, but otherwise, really, don't try to use it on long range. But other than that, really great. So in summary, the reason why we see a lot of players using the UMP is it's highly accessible, available, it's cheap, it's simple to use, and the caliber has no problem dealing with the level 4 armors that we currently see all over the map with the changes that the 12.12 patch came with. And that basically makes it one of the best weapons at the beginning and at the current state of the wipe. And for all the budget fanatics out there, like me, it's amazing. 40,000 and you have a gun that can absolutely slap. So what are you waiting for? Go play UMP. Ah, wait, before you go, don't forget to thumbs up, tell me in the comment section how it went, and subscribe for more, and then good luck in your raids.